Hello, welcome to my what I eat in a day video, very late pregnancy edition. So today I'm 37 weeks and 1 day. My baby could be born any day from now, so it's super exciting. Right now I'm about to go and exercise. I'm still doing my exercise routine around maybe 4 times a week. Still going great, I'm still strong. And just before I do that, I need a little snack, which is going to be a banana and some almonds. This belly has grown so much in the last 3 or 4 weeks. It's huge. It means that the baby's growing well, so that's great. And then after exercises, I always finish my workout with some rotations and figure eights and swaying on my birthing ball or exercise ball, however you want to call it. And then I do my pelvic floor exercises as well using my pregnancy app. I do that every single day and I've seen incredible changes in the strength of my pelvic floor muscles. I don't have any problems with the pee leaking or anything like that, so they definitely work if you just keep doing them. For breakfast today, I'm going to make something very special, sourdough crepes with a starter that's been fermenting overnight. My sourdough crepes are super simple. I literally just use the sourdough starter, a couple of eggs, some milk, and a little bit of salt. Look at this beauty. This is my favorite moment when I make sourdough bread or pancakes or anything like that, because just look at those gluten strands. It's so beautiful. So I'm going to use around a cup of this. I'm going to cook the crepes on a little bit of olive oil. And that's the consistency that I generally go for. And then at the end, I'm going to add this inside the crepes, and it's going to be amazing. And then I'm putting the cheese on top just like this. So while the other side cooks, the cheese is going to melt a bit, and then I'm going to roll it up. All right, it's ready. It's like a nice draft. Oh, that's a nice massage. That's really nice. For lunch, I'm going to make a very simple and quick pasta with mollusks called clams, which are my favorites, and we usually try to eat them once or twice a week, every single week. They're full of nutrients, full of iodine, full of iron, zinc, copper, and everything else, so really good for pregnancy. So we got some linguine pasta, which is like spaghetti but it's a little bit flatter. We have the clams, also 2 cloves of garlic, some chopped tomatoes, some fresh parsley, and some olive oil. And then I'm going to cook the garlic cloves, crushed garlic cloves, on some olive oil. And I'm not going to chop them or anything like that, because I'm just going to cook them until they're brown, and then I'll take them out. Next, I'm going to wash those beautiful clams, and any clams that are open should be discarded. Luckily, most of the times I have 100% of them closed, so nothing needs to be thrown away. Now for the clams, I'm going to add half a cup of water into a medium-sized pot, and then drop the clams in. And then I will basically just steam until they start opening up, and it's really fun because they actually start opening up one by one. So I'm just standing there for maybe 5 minutes, picking them out one by one, and it's like a little game. I love it. And when the garlic is brown like this on both sides, that's when it's time to discard it and just use the olive oil alone. I'm going to add the tomatoes and a little bit of fresh black pepper. Freshly ground black pepper. Clams are about to start opening up, and at this point I generally start boiling the water for the pasta as well. And by the way, I don't add any salt at all to the tomatoes, because later on I'm also going to add the super salty liquid, basically the sea water that comes out of the clams. Now it's starting to open up, so this is the fun part. There we go. That's the first one. Now at the end there might be a few that just refuse to open, so keep insisting for a few more minutes, maybe tapping them a little bit. Oh, here we go. And if 1 or 2 or 3 don't open, don't worry, they would definitely be cooked by now and they're totally fine. You can just open them with your fingers. Okay, so all but 2 clams opened up, but I can't really wait anymore. So I'm just going to strain it. My cats absolutely love this liquid. Me too. It actually tastes like a really nice fish broth. And these are the cooked clams. It's just beautiful, aren't they? Quickly, I'm going to add some of that clam liquid. And then I'll keep cooking the tomatoes on quite a high fire to get rid of some of that liquid. And meanwhile, it's time to cook the pasta because it's already boiling. And this is what linguine looks like. I also made sure I salted the water before putting the pasta in. One more thing to do while the pasta and the tomatoes are cooking is to remove all those clams from the shells. This much clams I've got. Now I have 5 minutes left for the pasta, which means it's time to add parsley and the clams. Now I'm going to stir everything and just keep it cooking on medium fire for a few minutes until the pasta is ready in the plates. Just look at it. And now we'll add this glorious sauce on top. Look how beautiful it is. So simple, yet so delicious and very, very nutritious. And then for dessert, I'm going to make whipped cream, homemade whipped cream, and strawberries again, just like in my previous what I eat in a video, because I'm still obsessed with strawberries. It's probably my biggest pregnancy craving, and they're still in season, so while they're in season I'm going to eat them all the time. I add just a tiny bit of coconut sugar to the cream and a little bit of coconut sugar and lemon juice to the strawberries, and I mix them with those things a few hours before eating them so that the juice gets released and they get seriously nice. And this is our dessert. Super good. Now the last step, I'm just going to sprinkle this local palm syrup on top. Not really to give it sweetness, but to give this beautiful caramel flavor. Oops, I went a bit too happy with it. Okay. And then for dinner I'm going to make a very traditional Spanish pork dish. Today everything is Spanish and Italian, so basically Mediterranean day of eating, and it's called secreto de cerdo. This name has a very interesting history. Basically this cut it only exists in Spain, nowhere else, and it's literally the best cut of pork. And the name means secret, and that's because all the butchers used to keep that cut for themselves. They never told their customers about it. Or another theory is that the name comes from the fact that it's hidden. If you don't cut the meat a certain way, you will never find it. So it's a huge secret of the Spanish cuisine, and we really, really like it. The first thing to do is to marinate the meat for at least a couple of hours, even 24 hours, and the more you marinate, the better it's going to taste. So we're going to need, of course, the 4 secretos de cerdo, and in other countries they would be shoulder of pork or any other cut that has enough fat marbling in the meat to make it as juicy and as soft as possible. And then we're also going to need some fresh rosemary and also some dried thyme. If you have fresh thyme, it's even better, but dried thyme is all I have. And of course, a few cloves of garlic. And then another thing that needs to be done is I'm going to trim some of that excess fat like this. That's really not necessary. So I'm just going to trim that off. I'm not going to trim all of it because fat is what gives this dish such beautiful juiciness, but just anything excess like this. And now I'm going to add some olive oil and salt and pepper. Now I just need to massage all of those ingredients into the meat. Make sure that everything is coated evenly. And the smell is absolutely gorgeous. The herbs, the garlic, the olive oil is surely the smell of the Mediterranean. Then I'm going to close it with some cling film and we'll leave it to marinate for at least a couple of hours. In between lunch and dinner, I also had an organic yogurt, unsweetened, just plain, and that was my snack. So I think this is it for today's What I Eat in a Day video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.